Welcome back, friends. We may be halfway through August, but there is still a lot of time to check out some culinary dining experiences. Have you been to one? I know I have. If you're looking for a great dinner deal, Gris-Gris may be the right fit for you. Today, executive chef and owner Eric Cook is joining us in our Winn-Dixie kitchen to share some dishes from their menu. Chef, it is already smelling good in here. How are you?
I'm good. Great to see you. Great to see you.
Great to see you as well. Congratulations on another culinary menu. You know, I looked at it all. 3 courses, which is amazing, for dinner. Talk to me about your point of view for this year's menu.
You know, culinary is such a great time of year for New Orleans restaurants. You know, traditionally it's a very slow time, and that's the thing that's great about culinary, is it kind of brings us back to life locally. You know, it gets our locals back out, moving around in the restaurants when there's not a whole lot of tourists in town. So it's a little more intimate, a little more personal. So I like to take the menu kind of back a little bit, and, you know, my upbringings with the old restaurants down in the quarter, you know, the Brennans and the, you know, the Antoines and the Galatois, who kind of set the stage for that classic Creole cuisine.
I love it, but you're doing it the Eric Cook way. We are making one of the main entrees first. I see some fish.
Yeah, we got some great local redfish, obviously. You know, Louisiana, man, we get the best seafood in the whole world. So why not showcase, you know, and this is a dish that's very old school, very traditional, Redfish Meuniere. You know, so it's kind of a play on, or a tip of the hat, I should say, to the greats who come before us. You know, so great locally sourced redfish. We've got a little seared fingerling potatoes and some artichokes that we've seasoned up with some our Creole seasoning that we make there that put the Gris-Gris on it. You know?
Yes, because you are selling your seasoning now.
We do have a spice mix. Now it's called Put the Gris-Gris on
Literally,
it.
you know I have some.
Oh, do you?
I have the original and the spicy.
The spiciest spicy?
Yes. The
My guys
spicy
make
is spicy.
They're like, chef, if you're gonna make it hot, make it hot.
Come on, so I love it.
If you're gonna bring it, bring it, you know. So, of course, you know, something light, you know, we got some summer potatoes in there. It's just some, it's, you know, it's summertime, it's hot, so you don't want anything really super heavy.
Yes, and how did you season the fish? What you're seasoning?
Yep, so this is just a little bit of regular blended oil that we use, and, you know, I just dust it with some Creole seasoning. It doesn't need a whole lot, you know, because the dish has got so much going on. You got, you know, the black pepper and the lemon, the Worcestershire coming out of that great Meuniere sauce. A little bit of Creole in the fish to give it a bite. And then there's a little salt and pepper and some green onions on the fingerling potatoes.
And how do you know when it's perfectly cooked? Because it's got color on it, it's got seasoning on it. Like, what's the chef eye?
Well, I tell you, if you can't cook a piece of redfish for as long as I've been cooking in New Orleans, I got problems.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
because like he mentioned, he has cooked at several of the iconic restaurants. Brennan's, he really thinks he's been doing culinary since it started 20 years ago.
It's been a long time, you know, and I always remember it, you know, and I think back to, you know, New Orleans and the highs and the lows we have, but, you know, those summer days in the quarter, you know, it's like a little bit of lunch pop, but it's all locals, and it's just nothing really going on. And it's locals moving around. And I think that's the greatest idea, to get us back involved in our local restaurants.
Oh, I love it. I've already been to 4.
Oh, yeah.
Believe me, but not Gris-Gris yet. I'm going to try it now. Now, what are we topping this with? Some green so I have my vegetable?
So you got to have a little green, you know?
Absolutely.
You got that beautiful brown butter, those potatoes and artichokes, and we're going to brighten up a little bit with some summer cherry tomatoes.
But you even seasoned the tomato.
Absolutely. You got to put salt and pepper in those tomatoes. If you're making a sandwich, you're not putting salt and pepper on it, you know, you're not doing it right. And then just a little bit of sugarcane vinegar. So that's the secret. I'm telling you, steamed sugarcane vinegar. Brighten your day, brighten every dish you do. It's something that's a staple in our kitchen. It's a staple in my house as well, too. Just a little bit of acid gives it that punch through that rich Meuniere butter.
Child, my mouth is watering. Okay, but listen, if you are a meat lover, you also have another option for the entree, a lamb chop.
We do, yeah. So kind of a little foreshadowing maybe for something that might be coming up here in the future with one of our restaurants. But again, culinary is not only a time for, you know, us, to, you know, revel and get out and see some different restaurants and move around, but it's a time for our chefs to kind of step off the menu. So I let my guys loose. Hey, what do you want to do? Tell me what you're feeling. It's a brief period of time. We've got, you know, plenty of extra time to prep, obviously, in the summer. So that lamb chop coming in with that beautiful rice pilaf and mint chimichurri, just a classic dish, super light.
The seasoning is great. This Meuniere sauce, I'm tasting the Worcestershire.
Yeah.
It is absolutely delicious. Now, I'm not like you're gonna get off the hook with that, okay? You're talking about that dish, the lamb chop, maybe alluding to something, another restaurant we have down the line. You also own St. John, which you know is one of my favorite restaurants in the city.
It's absolutely mine,
It did close for a time being. What's the update on that?
So we are bringing St. John back to life.
Yes.
So, you know, we were, you know, looking for the right place. You know, we fell in love with that space. You know, in New Orleans, you can fall in love, you know, constantly. And, you know, so it's an emotion, you know, but we thought it was time to make a move as a business decision, you know, to kind of let the restaurant, we needed to grow a little bit, you know, in that space. And so we found an amazing location. We're at 715 St. Charles, the old Le Chat Noir.
Yeah.
So it's got great history. You know, my wife, the retired ballerina, it's a theater, it was a restaurant. It all plays into us, you know, and our vision and our family and what excites us. So, you know, you bring a little bit of that theater and that show up front, and then we've got the kitchen and the smells and those familiar dishes coming back from Lower Decatur.
Love them.
Baked macaroni, red gravy, Creole beef dough, oysters St. John.
Your Boudin Benedict, okay, absolutely delicious. And the reopening date, do we know yet?
So we're going to be early fall, surprisingly. I think we're going to be sometime around September, mid-September, maybe late September, right around in there. But we'll have a lot of notifications going on soon because it also coincides with the release of Modern Creole.
Yes, his new cookbook. More on that new cookbook. It's going to be great, everybody. It comes out in September, like he mentioned. And listen, Chef is sticking around because we have a lot more to cook up for Culinary. If you want to head over to Gris-Gris, 1800 Magazine Street, right here in New Orleans for a full look at their culinary menu, grisgrisnola.com. And do not forget, everybody, for a full list of participating restaurants in this year's Culinary Month, log on to neworleans.com/culinary. It's going on from now until September 15th. And do not forget, in honor of the 20th anniversary of Culinary, they are partnering with Second Harvest Food Bank. If you donate, New Orleans and Company will match your donation. I love that. All right, stick with us, everybody. We'll be back in the kitchen with Gris-Gris later in the show, like I mentioned. But first, Audrey has brought along her croisades for some music. They are going to perform for us in our Chip 4 South soundstage next. Don't move.